Good morning, students. If you're watching this video, it is probably Tuesday, May 12th. And this is your, oh, my hair's a little busy. This is your math video lesson for today. And there's probably going to be 2, maybe 3 lessons. So I'm going to switch to our share where you can see if you don't have your math materials out, go ahead and get those out and ready. And you are going to need a protractor today. All right, so we are on Tuesday. We're going to start with kind of connecting to what we learned yesterday, which was about how to measure with the protractor and how to classify shapes as regular or irregular. And we learned what polygons are and how to name different polygons by their sides. We're going to complete our ERQ question, number 3. You can do that online or in a Google document or in your packet. We're going to learn how to classify triangles according to their sides. We're going to have an introduction on quadrilaterals. If you'd like a little extension, there's a really great brain pop on types of triangles, and you're welcome to watch that. And then your exit ticket for today is listed below. Please make sure you take a picture of your exit ticket and send it to me or type it on a Google Doc and share it. We're also going to be adding some words to our vocabulary. Remember that vocabulary list is going to be really important because it is, this unit is really, really rich in vocabulary. All right, so our standards today, our ERQ is focused on fractions, multiplying, dividing, multi-step real-world problems. And our other learning today is focused on classifying polygons and describing them, triangles and other polygons as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start. We do have some vocabulary we need to add, and I had to extend my vocabulary. So remember, some of the words that we're working on are polygon, segment, line, open, close, regular, congruent, triangles, quadrilaterals, pentagons, hexagons, heptagon, octagon, decagon, and angles. And one of the things that we is a little different about geometry is you have ways of showing these through signs or notations, like using segments above or a shape for a triangle when you're talking about a triangle, or a shape that means an angle. If you are visiting us for our Zoom lessons, we're going to be practicing this vocabulary at the start of your lesson, and then we'll do some Kahoots to practice your vocabulary at the end. All right, we're going to add our 2 new words for today. We have a protractor, which is a tool to measure angles. And I'm going to use my symbols as much as I can. A right triangle has 1 right angle, and a obtuse triangle has 1 obtuse angle, and an acute triangle has 3 acute angles. And we didn't go over this last time, so we're going to backtrack a little bit. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees. Oops. And we note it by putting a little box. An obtuse angle is 91 degrees to 179 degrees. Now it's not 180 because if an angle is 180 degrees, you're facing this way and you turn all the way around and now you're facing the other way. It's a flat line. So 180 degrees is a flat line and not an angle. An acute angle is anywhere from 1 degree to 89 degrees. So it's less than 90 degrees. So all you need to remember is that 90 degrees is a right angle, an acute angle is smaller than a right angle, and an obtuse angle is bigger than a right angle. All right, today we have 4 new words that we're learning, and it's isosceles, and this means a triangle with 2 congruent sides. And that might look like that. It might look like that, as long as it has 2 congruent sides. An equilateral triangle has 3 congruent sides. And remember, that one didn't look very good, but it's supposed to be. Oop, that one's not going to work. A scaling triangle has no congruent sides. All right, and attributes is just a fancy geometry word for the features. So usually that's the sides, the angles, anything used to describe the shape, they're going to call it attributes. Now, how do I remember these? Well, I remember this one because it has the word equal hiding in it. Equi, that's the prefix that means equal. And I remember this one because it has two S's, and I remember two sides, the same, S and S. And then you really just have to remember scaling. All right, so we are going to jump into your packet. And first, we're going to look at your ERQ question. Tuesday, May 12th, ERQ. I can solve real-world word problems using fractions. A builder is installing a fence around his rectangular yard. One side is 10.5 feet and the other is 2 times as long. Identify how much fencing he will need to enclose the whole yard. All right, so I want you to take a moment and pause and write out your DWB. Identify is our do. Oops. The fence he will need to enclose the yard. Now this one's only going to have one sentence, so you might need to add some details in there to make sure you get your 15 words. All right, so first off, the strategy we're going to use for this one is draw a model or a picture. So I want everyone to stop and draw me your rectangular yard. Think about what shape a rectangle is. All right, and it said the small sides were 10.5. It said the long sides were 2 times as long as 10.5. How long are the long sides? We have width and length. What would that equal? 21. All right, now what they're asking you to find is the perimeter. I'm going to leave you to find the rest of it. Do make sure you have your units in there because it is a word problem and we need a word. All right, so you're going to solve our problem and then write your sentence. Don't forget to complete your DWB. When you're done, you're going to count your words and make sure that you have used some appropriate vocabulary. Your exit ticket for the bottom is identify the missing measurements of the sides and the angles of the triangle. Describe the congruency of the shape. Identify this triangle. I'm not sure why I put this in there. All right, so we just need our 2 sides. Oh, because it gave you, I see, don't forget this little. So it is not to scale because if you actually measure them, it is a little different. All right, so we need angle A, angle B, angle C, and side AB. All right, so we are going to jump back to where we were and look at page 921. Did we finish? Oh, nope. 911, page 911. So we didn't talk about these yesterday, but we just went over our triangles. So remember, if it's acute, it has all small angles. They're so cute. If it's right, it has at least one right angle, which is 90 degrees. Oops. And if it's obtuse, it has one big angle more than 90 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and label our triangles. So on this one, we're going to start, easiest to start over here. Does it have one angle that is more than 90 degrees? Yes. So we would call it obtuse. Does it have one angle that's more than 90 degrees? No. Does it have one angle that's 90 degrees? Yes. Does it have one angle that's more than 90 degrees? No. Does it have one angle that's exactly 90 degrees? No. Are all the angles less than 90 degrees? Yes. So it is an acute triangle. All right, last one. I want you to kind of do this one on your own. So you're going to go through your questions. Does it have one angle that is bigger than 90 degrees? Does it have one angle that's equal to 90 degrees? And if not, it's acute. So hopefully you saw this 100-degree angle, which means that it is obtuse. Now, one of the best ways when you're measuring is there's a little trick. If you add up all the angles, you're going to get 180 degrees. Every triangle has this total or sum. So one way when you're measuring your angles, you can check them is to see if your angles add up to 180. If they don't, you might have made a mistake somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and look. Oh, I see an error right here. Look, 90 and 110 is 170. So I'm going to check my angle and see if I made an error, which happens all the time. We're going to look at this one. Nope, it says 70. Let's check this one. Oh, there we go. This one is 20 degrees. All right, I'm going to check this one. 30 and 30 is 60, plus 5 and 5 is 70, plus 10 is 80, plus 100 is 180. So we're good. 60 and 40 is 100, plus 5 is 105, plus 5 is 110, plus 70 is 180. 40 and 40 is 80, and 100 is 180. So it's a really good way to be able to check your work really quickly. All right, I'm going to press pause here on our tape because we're at the end of 15 minutes, and I'll start a new one in just a minute.